We're here with the staff from the Ministry of Health and Social Development, Movers for Life, as we just recently concluded our Fitness Movement Challenge. Now, before we get to the good stuff, we have here the coordinator for Health Promotion Services, Ms. Ivy George. Ms. George, tell us a bit about how the Fitness Movement Challenge came about and what were your overarching goals?
The purpose for the challenge was to introduce the VI Walk Run program, which is a community-based program for adults, and we launched the challenge to get people excited about wanting to do something. But the whole idea is that after the challenge, that people will continue to walk. The challenge was just a prompt to get people moving.
And by all accounts, it was a great success. You could see people from villages and communities around the BVI walking. So how do you think the response has been from the community as it pertains to the challenge?
The response has been very good for a first effort, and I just hope it will continue.
Mm-hmm. Now, moving forward, what can we expect from Movers for Life? What can we expect from the community? You inspired thousands to get out there and started moving. How can they continue?
Well, as I said, it's a lifelong process, and we will continue through our social marketing to encourage people to continue to walk on a daily basis. And for the office, I understand that our next challenge will be to walk around the world.
You heard it from the coordinator, Ms. Ivy George. The next person I want to talk to is the foot soldier who was on the ground with this thing, and this is Mr. Jason Rubin, who actually came up with the concept of us walking to Cairo. Once again, I want to congratulate you. The whole team back here, we reached to Cairo. It was our goal to leave from BVI to end up in Cairo. How did we get on this Cairo mission in the first place?
Well, I was just thinking about the whole challenge in general and how many steps that each person could contribute during a 12-week challenge. And I thought about it that if each person took 10,000 steps 5 days a week, we would be able to take 1 million steps collectively a week, which would amount to 12 million steps for the whole challenge. Mm-hmm. And then I just calculated how many miles the steps would be equivalent to, and then I plotted the graph from the BVI, and it landed in Cairo, Egypt.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know at the beginning of this challenge, you had some cold feet. You didn't want to go to Cairo. You didn't think we could make it to Cairo. How you feel now that we actually got to Cairo and we got way ahead of schedule? Talk about that.
Well, I'm actually impressed and pleased because, as you know, in the office, I was kind of doubting at first, but everybody pulled together. Everybody had the determination to go ahead and try and to push, also to try to prove me wrong. Mm-hmm. And we went ahead and we did it ahead of time, and it really impressed me.
Mm-hmm. Now, to get to Cairo, 12 million steps, it sounds likely, and we got there in 9 weeks. We had 12, but we got there in 9 weeks because of the efforts of everyone you see behind me, the Cairo crew. Everybody was faithfully putting in their 10,000 steps, and we know we want to single out a few persons. We have our top stepper in the house, Sophia! She's playing shy, but we know she's not shy. Sophia is our top stepper. She's one of 3 reasons that we were able to make it to Cairo in 9 weeks. Sophia, how was that experience for you?
Well, Natasha, unlike the rest of these, I am accustomed of walking, so it really was not a challenge to me. I already knew the value of walking, so it was quite easy.
Now, when Sophia come in here in the morning with her 30,000 steps, we all had her under review because we did not believe she could be making those steps. But like you said, she said she's a walking lady, and she also busted the pedometer. She got 100,000 plus steps, and it went back to 0. Sophia! Look, Sophia, we want to know how you managed to bust that pedometer. We want to know what that day was like when you got up until you went to bed, that you put in over 100,000 steps.
Well, I decided that I was going to bust the pedometer because Mr. Rubin said it couldn't be done. So I just wanted to prove to him that someone can actually reach 100,000 steps. So from Saturday, I decided that I would keep the body in constant motion. And that's what it's all about. Walking, aerobics, and just keeping your body moving. Because it all registers on the pedometer.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, our top stepper, Sophia Bully. Now, Dr. Potter, you know we can't go unless we talk to you. Dr. Potter was very instrumental in this walk to Cairo as well, and you know, one of the leaders and pioneers of our team. Dr. Potter, talk a bit about the experience and what were some of the good things that came out of the challenge.
I think when we started the challenge, I didn't have much of a feeling for what the participation of the group would be. But as days passed, I saw the camaraderie. I saw that people were encouraging each other to walk. And I also realized after the first week that I had some pedometer police in the office. Basically, as I walked into the office, somebody would check the pedometer on a Monday morning. But I also discovered that they had formed a WhatsApp group. And people were sending WhatsApp messages and reminding each other to walk. And then I heard about people leaving home 10 o'clock in the night to go to shop because that was a time when they accumulated a lot of steps. So in the initial days before we started the challenge, we had decided that we would give people the pedometers so that they would get accustomed to wearing the pedometers. Otherwise, we felt that people would forget it at home. And in those days before the challenge started, I realized that there was a lot of commitment from groups in the community. Having seen enthusiasm in the office, I felt, you know what, if this could happen in every office, then we really were on to a good thing. It was low cost, and everybody could do it. And you could do it at your own pace. For myself personally, on an average day, if I came to the office and didn't do anything extra, I would have 3,000 steps. Most afternoons, I would go home, walk down the hill, walk back up the hill. I would have 6,000 steps. So I realized if I walk down the hill and walk back up the hill, I'd have 6,000 steps. So I used to go home and walk down the hill 3 times to ensure that I would have 10,000 steps. It was for me also, before this challenge started, we realized what an impact it was having in the office. The staff had the discussion about ensuring that we got more people infected. And so an extra effort was made and we extended the start of the challenge. Well, that was really effective because many of the busy bees in the office went out to the streets and into the offices, encouraging people. We made more noise in the media as well about the challenge. And I am pleased to say that as a part of a team in the challenge, it helped me personally to keep to my commitment to walk 10,000 steps. And if I had one of those normal days when it would be 3,000 steps, I would usually go home in the evening and walk extra, or wake up the next morning and walk extra so that the next day had maybe 14 or 20,000 steps. And this I found to be very helpful as well. Many days I would hear the staff discussing having Zumba classes or going hiking or walking as a group. Many things to get support for everybody. And I think that was very helpful. And I discovered that the activities being organized by the office were also being mirrored by groups in the community. I think that we are on to a good thing with the challenge. It is a stimulus. It brings support to people who otherwise would drop out on their own. It also, wearing the pedometer, it is like a constant reminder. And then the members in the group become competitive, some of them, and those who are falling by the wayside are constantly encouraged by the others. A cheap low-cost, low-tech activity that adds a lot to health. It is not about sports. It is simply about moving and walking. This challenge certainly demonstrates that you can get a community to walk. You can get the territory to walk. We must commit ourselves as a people to continue to move, because moving is one of the key factors that we can improve on for improving our health, particularly with regard to the chronic non-communicable diseases. Eating right, weighing right, having daily physical activity, and walking does not require any equipment. The pedometer is the only equipment we had. It was a check, a monitor, a constant reminder. Thanks to the members of the team and to the wider community for such an overwhelming response.
Now, I know, like you said, that because we talked about forming a group and it inspired a lot of other groups within government, and we know that your wife at the Ministry of Education formed a group. So how was it like between you and her in terms of that camaraderie and team back and forth? Did you have any conversations about that?
We didn't have a competition between us, but we did have the pedometer and ourselves as husband and wife to encourage each other. So it did create some additional time together because we were walking and talking together. And the walking and talking together means that the steps are not in your consciousness, right? As with the group activities that we had, the steps are not in your consciousness. And before you know it, the time has passed and you've made the steps.
Thank you very much, Dr. Potter.
You're welcome.
Now, one more person we want to talk to for sure is Miss Dawn Leonard. And Dawn was instrumental in organizing a lot of the group stuff. Dr. Potter just spoke about the Zumba and various other activities and helping to assist with partnerships, external partnerships to inspire people and to continue. First of all, Dawn, what was the maximum amount of steps you got this competition?
In a day?
In a day.
Sophia, 20,000? I think it was 20.
20,000. So personally, I didn't get past 17,000. So that was excellent. But Dan, speak a bit about those collaborations, those partnerships that were forged, all in the effort to inspire and keep people inspired, not only us locally, but, the whole territory.
Okay, well, I mean, as you are aware, it was a team effort. And we were constantly, like Dr. Potter said, trying to find ways to keep people encouraged, to keep people motivated. And so we were always looking for different ways. Lisa Adamson from Census Gym, she actually reached out to us because she was really excited about the program. And she reached out to us. And so we had Zumba, I think, twice during the challenge. We had it at the multipurpose complex, and the turnout was really good. People actually wanted it every week, but Lisa was giving up her time, so I just want to send a shout out to Lisa at Census and tell her thanks. And so I think it inspired the community. It helps to inspire the community. It was another activity that the community could do that, like Dr. Potter said again, it wasn't really focusing on getting the steps, but you got your steps nonetheless. So we were excited about the Zumba. And there's actually a cry for more. So we need to see how we could better collaborate with not just Lisa, but perhaps some other fitness fanatics, I call them, and see how we could get that moving better in the community.
Now, with the responsibility for food and nutrition, for persons who have already accepted and will continue to get in their 10,000 steps despite the challenge is over, what kind of tips or how should we be eating? What kind of tips can you offer to ensure that we're eating and exercising right?
Well, the two go hand in hand, and from our STEP survey, we realized that a lot of persons in the Virgin Islands are not eating fruits and vegetables, and that's key to our overall health and wellness. And so, if you're exercising, you don't want to counteract what you're doing by eating bad. So I think making good choices in your diet, eating a balanced meal, not overeating the fatty foods that we usually find happens, not over drinking the sugary drinks that we usually have, incorporating more water into our diet. And just trying to have a well-balanced meal and incorporating those fruits and vegetables that are so important to our diet that we found is actually lacking in the diet.
Thank you very much. So once again, we're coming to you from Movers for Health, the ministry staff here, where we reached to Cairo, one of our overarching goals for the Fitness Movement Challenge. And we just want to say once again, congratulations, and continue to inspire our viewers to, move, do exercise, keep fit, and with all being done towards a healthier Virgin Island. So once again, from the Ministry of Health and Social Development, I'm Public Health Communication Specialist Natasha Letson.